Markus, cooking with Markus, cooking with Markus, yeah. Cooking with Markus, cooking with Markus, cooking with Markus, yeah. Hello everyone, welcome to Cooking with Markus. This week we're going to make beetroot and courgette burgers, from which I got the recipe from Home and Garden website. If you go below in the description, there'll be a link there for you to go and get the actual recipe. I don't follow this recipe exactly. I've done a few of my own things, so please do whatever you like as well, but the recipe is there in its entirety at the link below. And let's get started. Okay, so this is everything that I'm going to need to make these beetroot courgette burgers. And for the sauce, so I'm going to start off by chopping the garlic and the onion to go in the pan. I'll cut this very, very fine. 1 clove for the burgers and 1 clove for the sauce, but I'm probably going to split that in two and do 2 or 3 for the burgers and 1 or 2 for the sauce. Then we're going to cut the onion, put everything into our little compost bin, whatever scraps and extras there are. And that's our onion and garlic that's going to go in the pan. And about half or 3/4 of the garlic and all of the onion. And we're just going to let that simmer over medium heat. 4 or 5 minutes until it's soft. All we need to do is grate the courgette and the carrots. I also have a tiny grater. It says to peel these and everything else, but I don't bother. I just put them in, skin and all. Just give them a good wash before you do it. Okay, the beetroot, this is the toughest one. If anybody's worked with beetroot before, it's not easy because it's super staining and gets all over everything. What I'm going to do is do it over the sink here. There we go. So the beetroot's peeled now. Now we have to grate it just like we did the carrot and the courgette. Also, it says in the recipe to crush the beetroot. I have no idea how to crush a beetroot, so mash it or something maybe, I don't know. So I just grate it in with these guys in here with the onions and garlic that are soft and ready to rock. So just scoop off all the grated vegetables into the pan. And then we're going to let these simmer and roast. Just to give them an extra hand, I'm going to put this over top. And just remember to stir this as you're going. You could add water to it if you wanted to, but there's probably going to be enough juice that comes off of the vegetables that it should be fine. So those are quite wilted. Good enough for now. I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm just going to let them simmer for a bit, like that. Okay, next the recipe tells us to place the bread, chickpeas, and the peanut butter and egg yolk into a food processor to combine them all. So I'm going to chop this bread into tiny pieces. Okay, bread complete. Now we're going to combine everything into the food processor. Use these tin chickpeas here. I'm going to strain them and rinse them before I use them. We have the chickpeas to here. We put them in first. Next, I'll put the bread and then the peanut butter. So there we go. 3 tablespoons of that as the egg yolk. So, and I just put the entire egg in like that. And we're going to blend it up. I'm also just cleaning up while I go. So just rinsing out the tin. Put it in the recycling, cleaning up. Okay, so this time worked out better than last time. Got everything mixed up quite well. Sticky, gooey consistency. And there we go. And just before I add the vegetables, I'm going to add the extra bread that I had. I've just chopped it up a bit finer, and I'm going to add that into the mix. And now the vegetables. So these guys, we're just gonna dump them right in. Okay, so now we're back. I've rinsed my spinach off. I got my sprigs of few of basil, and I'm just gonna finely chop both of them as if they were the parsley that the recipe suggests. Spinach and basil going in. Okay, so then we're adding the vegetables to mix this up. You just mix it all together. And these will be naked burgers. We won't use a bun or anything. So the next thing is the fun part where we get to make the burgers. So we just grab a handful and get all sticky. I try not to make them too thick either. Put this all over here so you can see it. I try not to make them too thick so they cook more evenly, but they're already cooked, so it's not really a big deal. I'm going to chill them for about 3 to 5 minutes. And in the meantime, while those are chilling, I'm going to make the sauce that's supposed to go with this, which means we use our garlic that I have from before, yogurt, and the cucumber. So we got the cucumber. I'm just going to use about this much cucumber. And we chop the cucumber and I drizzle the olive oil as well, tiny cubes. And that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to save this. I might add this if we need it. The yogurt, all of this last time I didn't use any of the measurements. I did everything by eyeing it, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. Yogurt, because the yogurt makes up the main part of the sauce, I'm just going to fill this little thing about halfway, and then I'll add the garlic, which we diced up super fine earlier. Now we're going to mix it all together. I think I'd like a bit more cucumber, so I'm going to add this piece of cucumber that I hadn't had earlier. We're going to mix it up. That's better. That looks better. And that's your sauce. That's going to go on top of the burgers after we fry them. Okay, so I put a tiny little drizzle of oil in the pan. I'm just going to heat that up a little bit just so they don't stick when we cook them. And then we're going to add the burgers. So they've chilled for so many minutes. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover them over and help them cook. I'll keep them on about medium heat, medium to low. Okay, that was the final flip just there. We got these guys, they're looking pretty tasty. And now I'm going to just plate them. And here we go. So just straight on the plate, no buns or anything like that. Nice consistency, they stayed together quite well. Add our little sauce onto the top, however we'd like to. Add some lemon slices here. Squeeze these bad boys on top. And there we go. Some nice beetroot and courgette burgers. Again, you can add salt. I added some pepper. And now I'm going to go enjoy my beetroot and courgette burgers. Thanks so much for listening. Give the recipe a try. Please subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you tried it, if you liked it, anything you did differently from what I did or from what the original recipe does. Thanks Joe for giving me an idea to do some food cooking ideas. This is not something I normally make, but I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to share it with you all. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.